Rob asked me what is -3 times -7. I don't think we have to adjust much. I think we can still keep the same idea that if we do a times b, that's equal to a plus dot dot plus a, b times. Which should also equal b plus b plus b a times. So let's do one where just one of them is negative. So -3 times, and I hate this x, so I'm going to use a dot. -3 times 7 should equal -3 plus -3 plus, might as well do them all out. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and that is the same as -21. Or we could think of it as 3 times -7. And that one's going to be -7 plus -7 plus -7. And that's also -21. So what happens when we have two negatives? Why does that end up being a positive? So -3 times -7, maybe so when we add this up 3 times, maybe we have to add this up added 3 times. So instead of adding up 3 times, now we have to subtract it up 3 times. So this would be -7, you know. So I seem to be having trouble. -7 -7 -7. I don't know if this is a very satisfying answer, and this will get us subtracted. +21. Alrighty, so I have some specific numbers in here. I've drawn this square. It's a 5 by 5 square, and then I've drawn lines on top of that square. I know that 5 minus 1 is 4 and 5 minus 2 is 3, but I think this will help us generalize the negative times a negative is going to equal a positive, and trying to view this geometrically. So we know the total area is 5 times 5, 25. Yikes. And the area of just this blue piece right here is going to be 5 minus 1 multiplied by 5 minus 2. As I said, I already know what those are. That's 4 times 3, so we should hopefully get 12 at the end of the day. But I want to do this like a combination of geometry and algebra. In algebra, the numbers have this property where if you have A times B plus C, then that should be AB plus AC. This is the distributive property, and this is a property that links both multiplication and addition together. So I want to use distributive property on this to try and figure out what the blue area is going to be, or to, you'll see, area of blue. And that should be 5 minus 1 multiplied by 5 minus 2. But that should also be the same as 5 plus a minus 1 times 5 plus a minus 2. And then we use the distributive property treating this as if it's just one number. So that's going to be the same as 5 plus a minus 1 multiplied by 5 plus 5 plus a minus 1. times a minus 2. And then we use distributive property on these components. I guess, so then we get 5 times 5 plus minus 1 times 5 plus, and that's this first half. So the next one should be 5 times minus 2 plus minus 1 times minus 2. So at the end of the day, we get 25 minus 5 minus 10 plus whatever this ends up being. Oh, why did I do minus 1, minus 2? Yeah, that's right. So minus 1, minus 2. But if you look at this area right here, the area of this green is 1 in height, and then whatever this is in length, which is the same as this, which is 5. So area green is going to be 1 times 5, so 5. And if we look at this area is going to be 2 at the base, and then its height is whatever this is. These are rectangles, but that's the same as this one. And so then that's 5. So then this should be 2 times 5, which is equal to 10. But what are those numbers? Those numbers are exactly what we have down here. And that makes sense geometrically. Like the blue area was this is what we started with. So is going to equal this total area minus the green area minus the red area. But then what have we done after we've check green area, check total area, check. But then what have we done after we subtracted the green and the red area? We've subtracted this area twice. So we have to add this back in order to make sure that the blue area is indeed this number right here is all of this. So that's where this component comes in. Plus minus 1 minus 2. And in order for that to happen, this has to be 2. So okay, so if you recall, we said we want this to be 3 times 4 times 3, hopefully 4 times 3, and that was going to be 12. And that's what we want the blue area to be, because we know that 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 minus 2 is 3. But in order for this to be 12, since the total area is 25, and we're subtracting 5, and we're subtracting 10, plus a question mark, then 12 has to equal 25 minus 5 is 20, minus 10 is, so then we get a 10 plus a question mark. The question mark must equal 2, but that means that minus 1 times minus 2 has to equal a positive 2.